Thank you for the nice introduction, and really glad to be here. Thanks to the TechBig team. Also very glad to see a lot of professionals again in this industry and developing industry. The title of my talk today is Up Your Silver Performance, which is a bit of a word game, because indeed to up the silver performance of the silver inks that you undoubtedly are all using today still, is basically also the reason why we call them USPs of our Agfa PRELECT inks. And what I want to do is indeed give you some ideas and some developments on how you can use these inks. Okay, first a slide on Agfa. To situate more or less where we are, so we are in the conductive materials here, but basically Agfa is much larger than that. We had a large business in offset solutions, which is mainly has to do with magazine printing and newspaper printing. Half of the newspapers in the world are printed with Agfa solutions, whatever. However, that part has been, as a more traditional activity, has been acquired by an outside company. So we are now focusing much more in digital print and chemicals, as we call it, which is on the one hand a large set of digital printers. And they are all powered by our own developed inks, so mainly graphic inks, but also functional inks like for leather design or leather decoration, let's say. And it's basically on that chemical engineering knowledge that we also built a number of specific solutions in specific markets like PCB materials, also inks, also conductive materials, membranes for hydrogen generation, and so on. And apart from that, we also have still an activity in radiology. Okay, if we talk, when we're looking to conductive inks, we have, of course, the well-known Orgacon brand for conductive polymer inks. But next to that, we also have the PRELECT inks, which are silver-based and basically even nano-silver-based. And why would you use those inks? Basically because you get much higher silver efficiencies, which is always a good idea, especially with silver. So you get the same conductivity with 2 to 3 times less silver versus more traditional technologies. The benefit is, of course, that you then can reduce the effect of the silver on your bill of materials. And you can also increase your sintering options thanks to the fact that mostly these layers, as also the previous speaker said, you're also talking, since you get more out of your printed features, you can make them smaller, you can make them thinner, and that's why you open up also a number of other applications. And that definitely supports the miniaturization effort that we also always confronted with. Here in this picture you see there really how such a sintered layer looks like. It's really basically small particles of silver which are really formed into a more bulk type of silver. So not any more separate silver flakes, but they're really touching each other, and that's where the good conductivity comes from. On top of that, you really need nano if you want to go for inkjet, and inkjet by itself offers a clear advantage for mass manufacturing, as we already see in graphics printing, because you have better controlled process environment, because the ink is not exposed to the outside. We're talking, of course, about high performance, relatively expensive inks. You also have less ink waste. You don't have to recollect or reclaim the ink from screens. And then you have all of the advantages of digital workflows, so the one-off thing, the variable data thing, everything like that. And on top of that, inkjet offers you really, due to the designs of this type of systems, you can really combine very large areas and still have locally very well-controlled features. I try to keep an eye on this ticking time bomb and stay ahead of it. This is the portfolio of our inks. You can find more material, more information on the sheet on the website above. But basically here, this is a summary table. I just highlighted a little bit. We have still one high runner in screen printing, because that's really used a lot, of course. Okay, thank you. And then we have a number of inkjet inks, which are both either solvent-based or water-based. So these are two different technology platforms for us. We have one new addition to the platform, portfolio, which is a higher solid content, water-based ink, specifically designed for spray coating and aerosol printing. I come back to that in one moment. And then we have also one companion ink, which is not